Okay, quick video to show you how to do a regression model on the TI-83 calculator. So using the TI-83, the way you make a regression model, well, this is how you do it. First of all, you have to have data already entered into your calculator, which I do. If you don't remember how to type data in, it's in the stat menu, push enter, there's your data. And it's helpful if you can see the data. So if you hit graph, take a look at a scatter plot of that data. That's nice. If you don't remember how to do a scatter plot, I have another video on that you could watch. But the reason I like to see the scatter plot is because it shows me what kind of relationship I have. This is basically making a straight line, so I know my data is linear. If my scatter plot was, more curvy, I might choose quadratic or exponential or something else. But this appears like it's linear, and that's important to know because I have a lot of regression model options I can choose. So I'm going to choose the linear regression model. So the way I do that is first I want to start on my home screen. So quit out of where you are, get to your home screen, and then I'm going to push the Stat menu and go over to the Calculate tab. Stat Calculate is where all the regression models are. Now these first few things are just doing analysis of data sets. We don't need those right now. But then once you get down here to option 4 and beyond, all of these are different kinds of regression models. And so that's why it's important for you to know what kind of regression model you're going to choose to begin with to make sure that you've got the right one for your data set. So our data looked like it was linear. So I'm going to choose option 4, linear regression. That's the data set I'm going to choose. So I push enter. It types that on my home screen. Now here's where you have to remember where you stored your data. I personally, so that I don't forget, so it's easy, I always store my independent data in list 1. So those are my X values. And that's the first thing I have to type in is where are your independent data stored. So I'm going to hit second 1. That types list 1 for me. And then right here above the 7 is a comma button, so I push comma, and then I hit second 2, and that's where I put my dependent data. So I always put my X values in list 1, my Y values in list 2, and that way I don't have to remember, it's easy. But there's a third thing I want to type in. I want to graph my data when I'm done to make sure that it matches the scatter plot. So now I'm going to push comma again, and I want to store my regression model in the Y equals as an equation in the Y equals menu. So the way that you do that is in the variables menu. So right now, after I've typed the comma here, I'm going to push the vars button, and then I'm going to go over here to Y vars. And in the Y vars, there's all my different kinds of Y equals menus. Now my calculator is currently in function mode, so I'm going to choose function. And there's all my Y equals options. It doesn't matter which one you choose. I'm going to choose option 1, but you can choose whichever one you want. And then it types that for you. So this is now going to make a linear regression model using as my independent data the things that are in list 1. My dependent data is going to use the things in list 2, and it's going to store my equation in the Y equals menu. So if I push enter, there's my equation. So this tells me that my regression model is Y equals 6x plus 0 is what that's telling me. So that's my regression model. If I go into the Y equals menu, it has stored that there, 6x plus 0. It stored it as Y1. And so now if I hit graph, there's my original scatter plot. There's my regression line. I can see they match up perfect. Life is good, fine, and wonderful. So that's a quick explanation of how to do a regression line on your calculator. I hope you found the video helpful. Thanks for watching.